To express I agree, what they do in Spanish is say I am of agreement. This would be estoy de acuerdo. So we have estoy for I am, de meaning of, and this word acuerdo meaning agreement. So we have acuerdo. Estoy de acuerdo. How do you say with you? Contigo. So if we want to express I agree with you, it would be estoy de acuerdo contigo. How do you say with her? Con ella. Now, how do you say I agree with her? Estoy de acuerdo con ella. What is with him? Con él. Now say, I agree with him. Estoy de acuerdo con él. To go the other way and express I don't agree, you simply throw no at the front of that phrase. So what we get is no estoy de acuerdo. How would you say I don't agree with you? No estoy de acuerdo contigo. I don't agree with her. No estoy de acuerdo con ella. I don't agree with him. No estoy de acuerdo con él. If you want to say with that, it would be con eso. Con eso. Now say, I don't agree with that. No estoy de acuerdo con eso. How do you say I know? Sé. And I don't know? No sé. Now try this. I don't know if I agree with that. No sé si estoy de acuerdo con eso. What about I don't know if I agree with him? No sé si estoy de acuerdo con él. Lastly, I don't know if I agree with her. No sé si estoy de acuerdo con ella. To say we should in Spanish would be deberíamos. Let's go through the syllables. We have de, be, ríamos. Deberíamos. Notice we have the accent over the I. This is where we place our stress on the word, on the pronunciation. So we should is deberíamos. Deberíamos. What's the verb to talk? Hablar. Now, how would you say, I agree that we should talk with him? Estoy de acuerdo que deberíamos hablar con él. I agree that we should talk with her. Estoy de acuerdo que deberíamos hablar con ella. To say with them would be con ellos. This would be a group of all men or a mixed group of men and women. So, con ellos, with them. Now say, I agree that we should talk with them. Estoy de acuerdo que deberíamos hablar con ellos. There are a few verbs in Spanish which mean to try, but the one we're going to use now is intentar. Intentar. How would you say, I agree that we should try? Estoy de acuerdo que deberíamos intentar. Do you remember how to say again? Otra vez. Otra vez. How would you say, I agree that we should try again tomorrow? Estoy de acuerdo que deberíamos intentar otra vez mañana. Here's something else from the mini courses. How would you say he wants? Quiere. And what's the verb to buy? Comprar. Now, how would you say he wants to buy it, but I don't agree? Quiere comprarlo, pero no estoy de acuerdo. What about, he wants to buy it, but I don't agree with that? Quiere comprarlo, pero no estoy de acuerdo con eso. We also have this expression of we have to. I wonder if any of you can remember how to say that. Tenemos que. Tenemos que. How would you say to tell him or to tell her? So we need a verb and that little pronoun to him or to her. Decirle. Here we have to tell, decir, and that le implies to tell to him or to tell to her. Decirle. Let's use all of that now. How would you say, I agree that we have to tell her the truth tomorrow? Estoy de acuerdo que tenemos que decirle la verdad mañana. How do you say what happened? ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? Now say, I agree that we have to tell her what happened. Estoy de acuerdo que tenemos que decirle qué pasó. What's the word for soon? Pronto. Pronto. How would you say, I agree that we have to tell him soon? Estoy de acuerdo que tenemos que decirle pronto. If we take our expression of estoy de acuerdo and we reduce it to simply estoy de, we can get a lot of other useful expressions out of it. In other words, we can squeeze more value out of it. For example, to say, I'm on holidays. In Spanish, it would be estoy de vacaciones. Literally, I am of vacations. Doesn't make much sense in English in a literal way, but this is how they would express I'm on holidays in Spanish. Estoy de vacaciones. To say in Mexico would be en México. En México. How would you say I'm on holidays here in Mexico? Estoy de vacaciones aquí en México. What about I'm on holidays in Madrid? Estoy de vacaciones en Madrid. How do you say I can't? No puedo. And what about I can't be there? No puedo estar allí. Now say, I can't be there today because I'm on holidays. No puedo estar allí hoy porque estoy de vacaciones. We can also use it to express being in a good mood or being in a bad mood. So, I'm in a good mood. In Spanish would be estoy de buen humor. So here we have our phrase of estoy de. And then good mood would be kind of like good humor in English. So we have buen followed by humor. We start the pronunciation from here. Humor, because the H is silent. So estoy de buen humor is I'm in a good mood. How would you say today I'm in a good mood because I'm on holidays? Hoy estoy de buen humor porque estoy de vacaciones. Do you remember the verb to celebrate? Celebrar. Celebrar. Try to say, I'm in a good mood and I want to celebrate. Estoy de buen humor y quiero celebrar. In a previous lesson, we covered the expression of I feel like. In other words, I feel like doing something. Do you remember what that expression was? Tengo ganas de. Tengo ganas de. If you wanted to say, I feel like celebrating, it would be tengo ganas de celebrar. So you just hook on the full verb to celebrate. Tengo ganas de celebrar would be I feel like celebrating. How would you say, today I'm in a good mood and I feel like celebrating? Hoy estoy de buen humor y tengo ganas de celebrar. Naturally, you can also say, I'm in a bad mood. And this would be estoy de mal humor. So it just changes from buen to mal. Estoy de mal humor. How would you say, today I'm in a bad mood? Hoy estoy de mal humor. To say it's Sunday would be es domingo. Es domingo. Now try this one. Today I'm in a bad mood because it's Sunday and I have to work. estoy de mal humor porque es domingo y tengo que trabajar. Once again there I was asking you to recall vocabulary and verbs from the mini course series. Here's another verb from that. To go out. What is that in Spanish? Salir. Now say, I don't want to go out tonight because I'm in a bad mood. No quiero salir esta noche porque estoy de mal humor. How would you say, I don't know why? No sé por qué. Now try this. I don't know why I'm in a bad mood today. No sé por qué estoy de mal humor hoy. What about, I don't know why, but today I'm in a bad mood. No sé por qué, pero hoy estoy de mal humor. Once again, how do you say I agree? Estoy de acuerdo. And what's the verb and the little pronoun to say to tell him or to tell her? Decirle. How would you say, I agree that I have to tell him the truth? Estoy de acuerdo que tengo que decirle la verdad. So let's move on now to you agree. This is when you're talking to a friend, someone else, Roberto or Joanna, you agree. This would simply be estás de acuerdo. This word estás means you are, and of agreement just as before. So estás de acuerdo. To express something like, do you agree? So we have a question here. It would simply be, ¿estás de acuerdo? Using the intonation of your voice to ask it. So once again, how would you say or ask, do you agree? ¿Estás de acuerdo? How do you say with me? Conmigo. Conmigo. Now ask, do you agree with me? ¿Estás de acuerdo conmigo? What about, do you agree with him? ¿Estás de acuerdo con él? Do you agree with her? ¿Estás de acuerdo con ella? Do you remember how to say with them? Con ellos. Now ask, do you agree with them? ¿Estás de acuerdo con ellos? What about this one? Why do you agree with them? How would you say that? ¿Por qué estás de acuerdo con ellos? What's the verb to know? Saber. And how would you say, I want to know? Quiero saber. I want to know if you agree with me. Quiero saber si estás de acuerdo conmigo. I want to know if you agree with that. Quiero saber si estás de acuerdo con eso. Again from the mini course, how would you express I would like? Me gustaría. Me gustaría. How would you say, I would like to know if you agree with that? Me gustaría saber si estás de acuerdo con eso. To turn it around and say you don't agree with me, then it would be no estás de acuerdo conmigo. So we have the same phrase, we're just throwing the word no at the front of the sentence. So no estás de acuerdo means you don't agree. Let's try this one. I want to know why you don't agree with me. Just think it out. Quiero saber por qué no estás de acuerdo conmigo. The decision in Spanish would be la decisión. La decisión. How would you say, I don't agree with the decision? No estoy de acuerdo con la decisión. How would you say he wants? Quiere. And how would you say he wants to know? Quiere saber. Now try this. He wants to know if I agree with the decision. Quiere saber si estoy de acuerdo con la decisión. He wants to know if I agree with him. Quiere saber si estoy de acuerdo con él. He wants to know if I agree with her. Quiere saber si estoy de acuerdo con ella. He wants to know if I agree with that. Quiere saber si estoy de acuerdo con eso. Lastly, try this one. He wants to know why I don't agree with them. Quiere saber por qué no estoy de acuerdo con ellos.